is an art that keeps timeless memories alive. The camera was invented in the 1816 and has changed lives forever. Today, this art form is preserved in galleries through exhibitions. The Albio Mirror is an archival exhibition that brings out black and white photography history dating back from the 1960s to 1990s. This exhibition was launched by Sana Ginwalla, a founder of the Everyday Lusaka Gallery, in June 2025.
This exhibition is a duo exhibition by Alick Phiri, who you've just spoken to, and Mr. William Matlala, who's from Johannesburg. And these are two photographers who made these photographs you see in the 1980s across two countries. So William Matlala was in Johannesburg and Alick was here in Lusaka in Kanyama. And it's really looking at the power of the archive and the importance of having photographers from the continent, from Africa, specifically from Southern Africa, photographing the community around them. So Albio Mirror is really looking at the sort of resonances and relatability that some of these images can bring to you. You may not know all of the people in these images, but you might have once seen photographs of your parents or your grandparents like this. But also with the particular images from Kanyama, we're also trying to identify the people and see if they can recognize themselves because they might not be remembered by Alick as well. So for me, it's a very important exhibition because it's showing a different type of visual history coming out of Zambia and from South Africa. And this is the first international artist that Everyday Lusaka has exhibited, William Matlala, and the first ever time that Alick has exhibited his photographs in his life, or specifically in Lusaka.
This initiative that she put in place was to promote Alick Phiri's black and white portrait photography to Zambians and people across the globe.
I met Alick in 2019 and I was looking for more people who were taking photographs in the 60s and 70s. And this started because I had found some photographs at Fine Art Studios on Cha-Cha-Cha Road, but I didn't know who took the photos. I didn't know who the people were. So I was trying to look for people that I could identify and who could actually share with me about their life as a photographer in Zambia. So I went to every studio in town, asking them one question: who is still shooting black and white photos? Who is still developing film? If you recall, before digital photography, people were using the film and analog cameras. And so I went to all the studios to ask who is still working with this, who was the last person you can remember who took photographs on film or came to develop film with you. And they all said one name, Alick. So I said, now how do I find Alick? So I was sent from studio to studio, and I finally went to Phil Photo, which is now Phil Opticians on Cairo Road. And I was given his number, and I gave him a call right there. And I said, we haven't met before, but I heard you're a photographer. Could we please meet? And when I met him, that was 2019, we spoke. I had an understanding of how his practice came to be, and we developed a relationship from then. And I asked if he still had photos, did he have negatives, prints that I could see, and this is just some of the images that we found from his collection that survived. And he's now a retired photographer, so what we're seeing now is a time where photography was part of his everyday life. He was photographing for photo art studios every day during the week. Then on the weekends, he was photographing for Kwacha Photo Studio, his own studio in Kanyama, on the weekends. So that's how I came to understand who he is, because I just asked one question and I made some phone calls. And for me, that's very special because there might be many people like Alick who are still alive, who were studio photographers in a time where Black Zambians were not really given that opportunity. So for me, that story is very important to share. I think that if you're interested in photography, whether you used to be a photographer or you're trying to do it now, I think you must really start by trying to understand why it is you're taking a photograph. What does the power of the camera hold? And what can you do to tell a certain type of story with that camera?
With this exhibition putting Alick Phiri, a 77-year-old professional Zambian photographer, on the African map. He shares how he embraced and made the black and white portraits through the people he lived with in Kanyama compound.
Black and white photographs I was taught by Mr. Patel. He taught me to develop, and first of all, let me say, I used to, when he took me, I was sitting in the shop. Then later on, slowly, he taught me how to do the photography. That's how I started. Then later on, I thought of, building my own house there. Then I finished. Everything was done. Up to now, that's where I am.
Challenges always act as an enemy of success. Despite the challenges Alick faced, he stood strong in capturing and documenting images for future generations to see.
Challenges were money was the main problem. Because you have to buy films, buy chemicals, again, processing. So it was a bit difficult for me.
This exhibition, being one of the first Zambian open archival gallery, gives room to Zambian people to relive moments and appreciate visual history. Patricia Kumbuyo, Kwacha Good Morning Zambia.